Time is 6:02 on January 11th. I'm calling the meeting to order. All trustees are in attendance. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to the Elmwood Park Caucus, 2024 Village Caucus. I need someone to make a motion to consent the agenda for the caucus.
I'll make a motion to consent the agenda for the caucus.
Second?
Second.
Okay, first by Studi, second by Trustee Johnson. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so passed. Okay, I'm the caucus chair and Kendall is our clerk, so she is also, but we need two certifiers on the board to sign off or be certified. Would anybody need?
Can I, if I already?
Probably not if you're going to be nominated, so I need two certifiers. Okay, Trustee Rude, Trustee Whittick. Okay, so both Trustee Rude and Trustee Whittick. We have a nomination for 3 trustee positions at $2,000 per year. These are at-large positions, and we can accept up to 6 nominations. If there are more than 6 nominations, we will raise our hand and vote. Everyone's okay with that? All right. So I'm opening up the floor for the 3 Board of Trustee positions. Please state your name, your address, and your nomination if you're the first nominee.
Ken Engel, 3601 South Elmwood Drive. I would like to nominate Brian Johnson.
Okay, and a second? And I said I would second for Trustee Johnson. All right, any other nominations?
Lisa Stoffel, 3338 North Elmwood Drive. I'd like to nominate Denny Stoffel for trustee.
And we need a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, sir.
Other nominations?
Rick Stein, 3451 East Elmwood Drive, nominee Kelly Stein. You agree?
Yeah. Need a second?
I'll second.
Other nominations?
I would like to appoint Barb Woodick, 3702 Maryland Avenue. I nominate Linda Scooty.
Second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay. That closes the nomination portion of the caucus. So this is the end of the caucus and our caucus. Don't go.
We have to name them.
We have to name them. Go ahead. I did
The
not
nominees-
see that.
The nominees are Brian Johnson, Denny Stoffel, Kelly Stein, and Linda Stuckey.
Great. Okay. The caucus is adjourned. All right. Time is 6:33 on January 11th, 2024. Call the meeting to order. All trustees are in attendance, and let's stand for the pledge again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with public comment and input. Tanya Wooden, would you please stand and state your name and where you're from and share with us?
My name is Tanya M. Wooden. I am a former tenant of 3131 Building 5. My comments here are to hopefully to bring some things to light and also ensure that some things are taken care of as we wrap things up with the building. Unfortunately, probably 2.5 years ago, we went to rent building number 5. At that time, for a daycare center. However, we were not notified, told, explained, given information that we cannot get our occupancy without the driveway. I have emails and things, and it took about 8 months to get that disclosed to us, from which it ended up coming from the city of Racine, which I felt it should have been disclosed from Elmwood.
Well, that's, our building, like, our property is in the city of Racine, so the buildings are owned by us, but the property is actually by the city of Racine, which is weird, but that's probably why the city had to be involved, because this property is in the city of Racine, even though we own the buildings. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I understand the processes. I just felt like what my information that was told to me at the time was that they were already told that we would not be able to get, that the Village of Elmwood was told that they would not be giving out any occupancies until that issue was fixed. And so,
I was not aware of that at all, and I was not president at that time. I was on the board, and we had a different administrator
Right.
at that time.
right, and so that's why I'm here today. So I don't want anybody to be defensive about it.
Okay.
I
no,
just feel like being able to share information so it doesn't happen going forward. Because we took a real huge financial hit
Mhm.
that I don't want to see anybody else take. But because of this non-disclosure, because it was not told to us, because we cannot start anything with the state until we get that approval from the city. So we were not even informed, although the former persons
Mhm.
were already informed of that, but they took several months to inform us of that.
Okay, I'm so
which-
sorry that happened.
So, which prolonged it. So with that, with all those issues going forward, we just felt like we took on a lot of, how do I say it? We were very patient with the processes and the lack of correct information given to us when we moved into the building. We were very, very patient that when we went and hit a financial, because this is 2 years now going in, that when we put $10,000 down for deposit, we did everything, we paid all of our rent, we did what we had to do, but when, we were still having to pay rent for something, we couldn't even move forward because of this issue for a long period of time. You can't even press start until you get these certain documents. So when we kind of hit our financial, we had exhausted a lot of our own personal funds, getting and preparing for this. We had put carpet in there, we had did what we were supposed to be doing. We just felt like we were hit with a cold shoulder and not a lack of care and concern. And that really bothered me. And I know that you guys, there's different faces, but I think going forward, I think it should have been an opportunity to really investigate and look at our situation. Not only that, not only with the rent, we were paying close to, $1,200 average utilities a month as well. Come to find out, we're paying the village, that part of it is the village of Elmwood's responsibility. Part of the reason why I'm here today as well, because I want to see that get rectified as well, and those funds be returned back to us. So we are paying for 3 meters. We were told that was what we were supposed to, question it, but we were told those were our responsibilities. To find out at the end, those are not all of our responsibilities. So that's the deception and the lack of care and concern that came for us. Like, we really, I don't want to make it a black and white issue. It was not really good business though, at all, for us to be treated the way that we were treated. No care, no concern, no compassion, and then also too, I question the water as well. So I'm asking for the water to be looked at and investigated as to who's responsible for what, because we never occupied the building, but we still are responsible for large amounts for that. And we never occupied the building other to set up and just let it wait, that we were paying $1,200 a month plus sometimes for utilities.
Can
And
I
I just feel like,
ask a question?
yes, ma'am.
So I know that you guys rented, how, did you have, like, everything work out with the day? Like, I was very surprised, there were many of us that were very surprised, like, why were you renting, but you weren't in the building yet? Because the driveway's been done for a long time now.
Well, we didn't get able to even get started, so we cannot submit anything to our state of Wisconsin, to the licensing, until till they know that the city said it's okay for us to put a daycare, because then they feel like that's.
So that wasn't on us, that's really on the city of Racine, because I don't.
No, that's on you guys, because you guys took us as tenants without disclosing the information that we would not even be able to move forward in it. No, it didn't get started, I have emails, but I didn't even get disclosed. There's nothing that even started with the driveway until after like 8 or 9 months in.
So you had to wait until the driveway was done, and then once the driveway was done, you still could not open?
No, once the driveway was done, then we can go and then we can wait and we can get the approval, have them come and give us our occupancy and our approval that comes from the city of Racine.
Mhm.
But it was a stipulation that the city of Racine had already given us the complex of Elmwood that they would not be issuing any occupancies without that being done.
Okay, this is the first I think.
So that
anybody
came
on
from
board-
Ralph from the city of Racine.
Just so you're aware, like,
Why,
no lack of compassion from our end, because I don't think anybody on the board had any idea. And many of us have been on the board, there's 4 of us that have been on the board for about 4 years, and we've never heard any of this.
Okay, so that's the way I got it. When I talked to Chris and when I talked to the other gentlemen, they said, oh yeah, we'll take care of it. So I do have an email.
I'm so sorry that happened.
So that I need to show that to you, but what I'm saying is like, we were extremely patient and understanding and going to the people we thought that we needed to and saying, okay, well, we'll
Yeah.
wait, okay, we really want this location. And the reason was because it was a prime location and we wanted to really
Right.
do special needs, and we just thought that would be perfect for that. So, in addition, we couldn't do infants over there, they said, any longer either. So that was a city of Racine
Correct.
issue. So that didn't have anything to do with you guys, but we were still gonna go forward with it.
I know you had the big party on National
Right.
Night Out.
So.
We were like, they're opening, and then.
Yes,
I'm
but
so
it's all,
sorry.
because it all is it's a waiting game, so it's a process. So once you get that, then it goes into a queue, and then it goes into, they have to do their due diligence, so then it doesn't even start. So it was probably almost 1.5 years in before we were even able to get to start.
Well,
So-
we're trying really hard to work with all of our tenants.
Mhm.
I'm really sorry that happened. I became president in May. Latiria started, Kendall started a little bit earlier than that as our clerk. Kendall started as our administrator about the same time that I became president. And then we've got a pretty decent board that's pretty open in communication, and we're constantly trying to make sure everybody is happy over here. So I really do apologize. I will tell you that we did put an extra meter on that building to see what the lights that are in the parking lot, to see how they're connected to that building. But we have to wait until at least a month goes by. So it's in the process, and then we can be in contact with you then.
I know, but see how we get it's in the process.
No, I know, but
Type of
you
stuff, but then we
can
lost-
certainly,
We lost a lot.
I
We
know.
lost a lot financially from that, and
If we have to, we could always look back if after we get these records from, after this month, and we can find out how much it cost, then we can always look back at electric bills, but I don't know what to say about the water, because it's the water bill. And anybody that's in a building has to pay for their utilities.
I know, but I'm just questioning now because of that. I'm questioning the amount, and I'm just asking you guys to look at it.
We'll look into it.
For future tenants, so you don't have it. And thank God you did have Latiria here, because, I was just so frustrated. I was just gonna get an attorney.
Well,
just-
and the truth be told, when the electric went out and we realized we didn't know that they were, neither did Kendall, we did not know that they were attached to that building, which is why we went forward to be responsible to figure out how that electric, how it's connected to that building, because no, you should not be paying for the electric of the lights in the parking lot. We totally agree, so.
Well, and those are questions that we asked from the beginning. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, the disclosure and the deception and And, you know, they're just blatant lies, you know, to be honest, that were given to us through the process. And I just want to formally state to the board so that it's knowledge. I'm not coming to come against the board, I'm not coming to come against
It's just
the village about, but I do feel like it has to be publicly stated that these were the discrepancies and these were the things that took place. And that was and a large part of why a business is not, that was going to be valuable to the community is not able to go there now because of that situation. So I just feel like,
We've been looking forward to you being tenants because you guys were, I mean, you always paid on time, and until you ran into these bumps in the road in November and December, everything was going smoothly. We were just kind of waiting to see what would happen. I know I talked with a couple board members about why haven't they moved in yet? And we
we have to wait.
Cora and I had this conversation about why had you not moved in, but I can tell you, nobody on this board that is here today had known any of that. I actually, once I found out that you were leaving and that you brought up some of those situations, I went back and talked to Chris and Ernie to get some information because I needed to know more. So I do thank you for coming today. Is there anything else that we can do? We will look into the electrical. We'll see what we can do. I don't know if there's anything we can do about the water, but we'll look into it. But we'll keep you posted on what we find out from the electrical and the streetlights.
And can I ask what the Chris and Ernie, like, what was the outcome of that conversation? Because I would have loved to have been a part of the conversation.
They just said that the city of Racine, that you were in a waiting game to get accredited to be a daycare in that building, and that you were waiting, but Ernie or Chris thought you got a decent break from the city for childcare.
From the city? For
Yeah,
what?
I don't-
Who
that's-
gave us a break from the city?
I don't know. That's all I was like, okay, they're like, they
They
gotta,
were talking about how Elmwood Park.
did we give them
The
a,
board agreed to discount the rent for those.
Is that what it- okay.
Those months during that.
It was only a short, it was only a couple of months, so that was not a decent break at all.
And
Like,
I don't
not for
know-
a year, like, no, that was not.
okay.
That was not, like, go look at the records, like, that was not, I mean, see, that's the part that irritates me, is the lack of compassion and care and concern that comes along with it. That's the irritating part of it, and that's the part that wants me to say, get an attorney, for the simple fact that they had knowledge of this prior to me signing the lease. Prior to the daycare signing the lease, they knew that we could not move forward with anything. They knew we couldn't even get occupancy. They
Until the
knew
driveway
that.
was done. is what you
Until
said,
it was
right?
done.
Okay,
And they put us in a contract. That's absolutely wrong.
okay. All right. I don't know if there's anything I can do, but I do appreciate you coming to the board and talking to the board. And we have your information. Is there anybody that wants to add anything, or I'm just checking? Okay. Is there anything else you want to share, Tyler?
No, I just feel like I gotta get some type of validation and care and
No, I was-
concern. And
I was just
I'm leaving
gonna-
out
I
of
was
here
gonna
not
say,
even feeling that.
because you stated that you were coming to us so that basically we don't make the same mistakes going
That-
forward.
yes.
And that, I mean,
And part of being able to do that is to acknowledge it. And to be honest, I don't feel like nobody acknowledged it. I don't feel like I don't even feel like you guys even have any care and concern. So, and that's the unfortunate part. And then, I mean, does it matter, should I have to get an attorney to have
Can you tell me what the rent, like what the
I can look it up, but we still have to pay 50% at least of the rent, which was absurd too.
and you got do you know how long you got the break?
I have receipts for everything.
I know, I
didn't bring it.
and it's
with me.
okay if you don't know off the top of your head, but if you want to share with me, like.
No, I don't have it off the top of my head.
I
but
wouldn't either.
We should have been.
I wouldn't either.
We should have not been told that we could even be put into a contract.
Right.
Like, what if that was your family member?
You
What if
should've-
it was this is our own personal money. We're not taking out loans.
I hear you.
We're not doing it. Essentially, it takes from the kids. We're trying to help special needs kids. We want to have a place for them to have a place where they can feel included. That project was called the Include Me
I'm
Project.
talking to a teacher that's a 25-year veteran.
So that's what it was for.
Yeah.
It was called Including Project. So because they oftentimes get excluded. So that's our niche. So we want to give them a space where they can have the sensory, where they can have those type of things. That's why it's really hurtful because here it
Yeah.
goes again. You know, it wasn't enough care and concern. And Krista just say, oh, they got enough. That's not That's not,
And I just didn't know enough about the situation to know, which is why I asked them. I don't know what to do. I can't make a decision right now if there's anything that's gonna happen. But I do really appreciate all of this information that you're giving me.
but they had a public, they're in a public seat in a public office and committing to the village of Elmwood that they're gonna steward this property appropriately, and they did not do that. And sadly did not do that. And it caused hurt and harm to another business and organization, to other families
I hear you.
in the community. And that's totally unacceptable. And it shouldn't be any part of representation of Elmwood. And so that's why my voice is here. I'm always advocate for what's right and what's I feel is what's the right thing. And they shouldn't have put us in a contract knowingly that we couldn't even apply for occupancy.
Yeah, okay.
And I do have an email on that.
Okay, well, thank you, Tanya. I really do appreciate all of this information.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
all.
I'll be in touch. Maybe we can go over some of those things. This week or something too.
Thank you, Tanya. I need someone to make a motion to consent the agenda.
I'll make the motion to consent the agenda.
Second,
Second.
discussion. Okay, first by Stein, second by Johnson. All in favor? Opposed? You guys have it. Reports, Sheriff, would you like to please make your report?
Hello, Sergeant Fazio from the Sheriff's Office. I'll read this real quick. This might answer some of your questions a little better. This is the monthly activity report. In the month of December in 2023, deputies spent more than 5.7 hours in the village. Throughout the month, deputies conducted 27 crime preventions, several traffic stops, issuing the following citations: 4 citations for speeding, 1 citation for operating while suspended, 1 citation for failure to maintain, failure to keep vehicle under control, 1 citation for failure to stop at stop signs, so that could be a result of that accident you're inquiring about. 3 citations for non-registration, and 2 citations for operating without a valid license. Deputies continue to maintain an active presence in the Village of Elmwood Park. Deputies assigned, as well as area cars, will continue to safeguard residential areas, ensure business security after hours, and conduct traffic prevention and enforcement in the spirit of community policing. And I think the invoice total was $342.17. And then also, if you do have questions regarding those, it's probably just easiest to email Lieutenant Guerin. He's currently the contract area lieutenant, and he can get you all the information you need.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yes.
We've recently had, in this last month, we probably had 3 accidents in one little area of the village here.
Okay.
Does the sheriff's department, do they like keep track of that to kind of say, okay, we've got a problem in this area? Because there's one section of road, there's a very sharp curve, you're probably aware of it. And when people are coming from, on Taylor Avenue from Durand Avenue, they can pick up some real speed by the time they get there.
Yeah.
And they have an
numerous.
accident. We've had a couple of different accidents there, and a couple of fatalities over the years. But just recently now, we've had 3 within the matter of a couple weeks. A couple of days. We've had at the 4-way stop. I know you guys are out there monitoring, looking for people who are
So
blowing right
we have
through.
extra attentions, and that was
Yeah.
one of them, I believe. I
Yeah.
don't know all of them off the top of my head, but if a deputy's available and we have cars and we're not tied up, we'll sit and do extra attentions for stop sign violations, whatever it may be, speeders. At certain areas, we know our problems. You guys are welcome to call in whatever extra attention you feel you need. Also, like if there's bad intersections and stuff, when we do a crash report, we also do one that goes to the state, to the Department of Transportation. And as a result of that, they will change things such as they made multiple roundabouts in the county because of bad intersections and things like that. So
Okay.
that does go to the state.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
So with regard to the 4-way stop, since Lathrop is considered a highway or county highway, is that a DOT type thing where we would have to go to see about getting the flashing, whatever, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that specifically, but I believe that'd be a DOT thing. Like when they see enough accidents in an area, that's why we send them those reports to the state. They will make changes. Like for example, I know out on 36 and J on the way west end of the county, we had so many accidents there. They did install the big signs that say watch out for crossing traffic, and they blink. And they've installed stop signs with red lights on and stuff like that too. So.
It's good to know.
Any other questions for Sheriff? Okay, thank you.
Take off.
Appreciate
Have a good
it.
night.
Be safe, thank you.
Thank
Be
you.
safe out there. Regarding that, I was thinking, with the speed, I mentioned to Brian that possibly when we do the second round of the road, we're gonna go Maryland Avenue. I don't know if we want to look at maybe putting a roundabout
I just thought that same thing.
and,
A
that-
roundabout, like going from Maryland into,
Maryland.
like, yeah,
Or
that
Maryland,
would
Maryland,
slow people
Maryland or
down.
Taylor?
Maryland and Taylor,
Mhm.
because that would slow
Mhm.
down, because coming from Durant, they're moving.
And
So
that's
you
when my son
write that down.
gets off the bus
Mhm.
stop.
That's
So
all.
Maryland
I
Taylor?
hate that.
Yeah.
Is that us or is that
The-
City? No, that would be us.
Yeah, would be.
Well,
us.
we're on, that's part of Village Park, Maryland and Taylor.
Right,
Could do that.
but I don't know if you can actually.
Do it, I would have to like look into it.
then
to
we
see.
can move the tree from the circle and put it
Put it
there.
right in the middle.
We're gonna still talk about that speed hump too?
Yes, yeah, in spring, but we don't have to talk about that. Yeah. Still thought for spring, speed humps.
So why did they sign a contract? For the speed bump?
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna sign contract for
Yeah.
speed bumps, not yet? No.
we're gonna talk about it
Yeah.
in spring.
Okay.
Okay, President Gasser's report. I just have a couple things to share. Thank you all for attending 2 meetings, extra meetings in December. So I promise to make this quick. The windows, we had the lease come in. The lease came in the day after I contacted, Materia contacted, I talked to Intech, you also talked to Intech. He also, and then I contacted the other 2, and just told them we went with somebody else. Couple questions on everybody's parts, but it was fine. But I asked Kelly Stein, she's our finance chair, to come in, and I also asked Kurt Root to come in when I signed the lease, just to have more eyes on it. I did not feel comfortable just signing it myself. So I thought that was good. Thank you, Kelly, for doing that. And Laura, please extend my thanks to Kurt. So we did that the day after everything was signed. They're coming in on the 22nd to remeasure everything and take a look at everything in all the buildings. So really good communication. They have not set a start date yet because they're waiting for the materials to come in, but as soon as they do, they'll weather dependent, but I think it'll be good to go this spring, April, May, but I think it'll be good. Kurt is going to be fixing some of the lights on the buildings. We've got actually a contractor coming in to fix the lights, right? The contractor is Laura, do you remember?
RIC.
Oh, it is RIC. So they're going to be fixing some of the outside lights on the buildings, and that's going to be taken care of. And then, did we talk about BB school? Did I fill you in on BB school? The ceiling coming down, like through the drop ceiling, the plaster is coming down. That's all been fixed and taken care of. And it was only in one room. The other room was okay as of right now. So we just fixed the one room. Drop ceiling is being installed, all as well. And then Letiria will bring up other things that she has on her list. So that's pretty much my report. Trustee Hinkle, do you have anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Trustee Johnson?
No, do not.
Trustee Rude?
Not at this time.
Trustee Stein?
No report.
Trustee Studi?
No report.
Trustee Whitick?
No report.
Administrator Shaw?
All right. Yes, so piggybacking off what you said, the RIC Electric will be coming in on the 22nd to do their final walkthrough. So I do have, in front of you guys, I have some documents that I came up with. It's the maintenance request and the memo to the tenants. We get a lot of late payments for rent, so we want to implement again that 3% penalty. So 3% of the rent will be the penalty for late payments. But we do have it set up where, like, some people do, like, consistently pay later on the same date. So we're, like, giving them the offer to, like, change it up to that date, so that we would amend their lease with that date. So, that is in there, and then the maintenance request is also in there. So we're excited about getting that started. This month, there's only one person late, but just so we don't have that all the time. And then we did already change it for the new church. So they're gonna be there on the 25th. So they'll be signing a addendum as well for their lease. And then the next thing, Kaiser Park, the official address for it is gonna be 3417 Standish Lane. So that's no longer gonna be the Johnson's family address. That's what it was. That's what we found out recently, so we need to make sure that we got a separate address for the park. And then looking forward to next week, a portable tree care will be out. They'll be taking a look at the tree right here on the complex, and then the other one on Great Elms Lane. I don't know if you guys,
Yes, you
it's
know,
terrible.
it's right by, you know where the memorial is for the Taylor home?
By the fence.
Right, like on Taylor,
Yeah.
there's like that hollow tree.
Where the
Yes,
sidewalk ends.
that is coming down.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I have a picture of it.
I hope it
can show
doesn't
you
fall
all.
down in the snowstorm. I'm so worried.
Yeah.
We've tried an affordable tree care out here earlier and they just have not.
Yeah, so they said they'll be out here weekend 15th, which is next week, Monday. They'll also be looking at, showing there was tree stuff at that time. Also, they came on March.
Okay.
So
Is
they
that what
were-
it was?
Yeah.
I just saw like tire tracks.
Oh, no, there was an accident.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is
There's
that
an
what
accident.
There was an
Somebody hit that
accident.
tree stump, actually.
Someone hit the tree stump?
Hit the tree stump and got about
Somewhere
20
around
feet, like pretty airborne.
Airborne, and then 20 feet, you hit the stump, went airborne, about 20 feet, smashed down into the grass, tore that all up, and landed on the other side of the Sherman's house.
Yeah.
It was,
And
Laura,
actually-
when did that happen?
It was on a Sunday, Sunday morning.
I want to say it was
Before
it?
Christmas.
It was right before Christmas.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, December
It's on
19th.
that thing that
Yep.
Materia has.
December 17th.
December 17th.
And the accident with the tree with on Great Elms Lane or at the intersection, it was on October 19th.
And then
Yeah, that's been a-
35, 24, Elm Tree Court, that was the 17th.
Yes. Yep.
So, but we
Yes.
did ask, we did send, oh, you were going to get to that part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's all
Then we
right.
had another accident that happened just this past week where two cars were coming around the curve there, and one of them coming from the Durant came around and swung into the car coming this way and really tore up the else yard. A lot of
Like that
trash, garbage, a lot of trash.
I think your husband was out there cleaning that up, wasn't he?
That's pretty.
Yeah, I heard, so I seen him out there sweeping, I was like.
Yeah, he's out there, his face is, so, we went and did it.
Danielle, where is that?
It's right next to us.
Okay. Where the chickens are?
Yeah, okay.
And speaking of the accidents too, we are requesting the accident reports because I know you brought up this week that we could probably go after insurance. Like once we take down the tree, you know, it's like $600, $1,200, you know. So we could possibly charge that to the insurance the person who hit, which probably thinks.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. Also, a third letter was sent out.
Just kidding.
Oh, yeah. So a third letter was sent out just to let Ms. Miller know about the tree stump removal, so she can have a heads up. It's her property.
We talked about that as a board, do you remember? It's been a while, but we did talk, and we decided we were going forward. So we will see what comes next week.
Affordable Tree Care said they won't do anything though, she's like, I'll be like, no.
Oh, yeah.
So the sheriff is involved, we just have to get some questions answered to see if that's okay.
She thought we already charged her earlier this week. She came in to talk to Kendall, but we have not gone forward with anything. And we told her it's not on her tax bill. She wants to pay it herself. So if we get it done, we will give her the bill, but we're gonna give her about a month to pay it. And if she doesn't pay it, then we will put it on her tax bill.
Affordable said that they are going to bill us because we're requesting it,
Yes,
so.
but because we will be adding a percentage for doing it. Yes. There's a 20% processing fee because we have had to take care of it. So, and that's all in the letter that she's receiving, that we sent her. So,
That will be good.
unfortunately.
Had a lot of discussions about that.
Yes.
So I did reach out to Mark Kingston, I just kind of follow up about the sex offender issue we had. The sex offender did move out of the community, but we kind of want to see where he went, things like that. So I did reach out to Mark, and he's in Costa Rica. So I'll be back Monday.
Oh, Marcus.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was calling this whole week and then, oh no, I don't think they can leave.
Kick me out.
Yeah, so, oh my goodness, it's a weird cacao. So yes, I will let you guys know what's going on with that. And also, it was actually recommended, maybe we can figure out, if we have anyone else in the area that may be a sex offender. So I was given a number today, for Sheriff's Department too, the contact person who's notified about sex offenders. So I'm hoping to figure out some good information, just make sure it's not a village, because you never know who's next door.
So with that information, what would be done, just notify that, hey, this is what the situation is then?
Yeah, because we have an ordinance where sex offenders can't live in the village, so.
Oh,
Yep.
And because of the park.
oh, yeah.
If you have the park, you can't be so close.
And there's a school and all.
Yes.
Okay.
So we did have a contact person assigned for asphalt contractors for the season. So that is someone to go to right away with issues. She's very responsive. They are aware of over assaulting issues, about the yard stakes and everything that I got a complaint today, chief and resident. So very nice to have a contact person to work on with those things.
Did somebody complain that what did they do?
Today I talked to someone, they said that they just kind of take their time, they're kind of slow to get things done, so.
They were here though this morning.
Oh, they were.
They were here at 7 this morning, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be somebody that complains, but
Yeah.
I thought, I was really happy that, I mean, I heard them before I even got up. I'm like, they're out there already? That's great.
They were talking about it.
I heard from somebody today that said that they went past their house at least 8 times.
Oh, they went past my house constantly. So
Yeah,
they woke me
she
up.
said, what do you have to do that for? And it was like, well, I don't want to tell somebody how to do their job, but.
Yeah. I know, I kind of had the same thought because it came by once and like, because it was right before, as I was leaving my driveway. And I was like, okay, great, now I have to go shovel it. And yeah, there was nothing to shovel. So, I mean, I don't know if it was just like, just didn't lift up the, you know, the plow on the way out or something like that. I don't know. I just had a.
So they just milling about too much to charge us? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can always reach out, we really haven't got a lot of snow, but we're expecting it tomorrow and this weekend, so we'll kind of just see how it goes and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So hopefully they took my advice.
Lataria, were you able to talk to them about BB School? Because I know BB School has requested that somebody get over there and shovel before school starts, which is, it's a lot because your school starts about 4 to 8.
Yeah.
And you have to have somebody over there basically hand shoveling over there other than a little bit in the lot. And I don't know if that's something that we ask BB to maybe look into. It's like, hey, we can't guarantee our company's going to be there before 8 o'clock.
Because,
Yeah.
Yeah, something, I don't know if that's a possibility or not.
So we kind of talked to them and they just basically said they have to, like, they come out early and they have to come out again, they have to double charge us. So we were just thinking maybe BB School has their own maintenance for things like that and they may just take the big service when they come.
There you go, yeah.
I think that's reasonable.
That makes sense.
And that's again, we can kind of do a wait and see approach as well to see, like, we definitely want them there before kids get
Yeah.
there to school.
Yeah, we want it to be safe, but yet
Mhm.
our hands are strapped in a lot of ways because it's like, when we get something there.
Yeah. And, you know, if it's like a really snowy day, we could probably say, hey, could you guys go over there early?
Or
The
school
contact-
would be closed anyway, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it'd be a non-issue. isn't it?
Right, well, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, or you could have rain.
Yeah.
Let's cancel school, it's raining.
Yeah, so we'll keep a close eye on that. And then the insurance, that was officially renewed. So starting next year, November, that's when we'll start that process again, and then it's due for renewal in January 2025. And then I will order some village t-shirts for everyone, and then bring it to the next board meeting, and then we'll take that out of the events committee money.
Yeah, I thought that was appropriate, because typically you'd be wearing them at village events, so that's fine. I thought that was a good spot.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're $50 a shirt, it's like $10 a shirt,
Mhm.
so.
And maybe we can like get sizes before we go. It's a good idea too, so I can kind of have that.
Okay, great.
So that is my report, so, right?
So very quickly, we don't have much to say in this discussion, but there was a possibility at the last RCICC meeting, which I didn't attend, but Latiria attended for the very first time, because it was the day of my surgery. There was an option or an opportunity to be part of the Wisconsin Cyber Alliance, just to protect us if for like security purposes, so people are hacking into our systems or anything. Kendall does not, you didn't know how much it cost, and you knew that there was a policy, like if we were ever attacked by cyber something, we'd have $25,000 coverage in our insurance. Is that what you said?
I'm just piggybacking on what she said. I don't know
Okay,
the
that's
number,
good.
but it's part of our insurance. It's not something where they actually help us in IT.
Right.
Insurance is just to cover the cost of in case we were to get hacked and we have problems.
So I don't know if it's something you feel necessary for the village. We do not know how much this actually would cost us.
Well, that's the question, because I think that it's a minimal cost, because if anybody knows what happened to the city of Racine a couple of years ago, and I can't even imagine what that would cost.
After the fact of
After
it
the fact,
happening.
I mean, they basically had to recreate everything. I mean, we're obviously not a city, but I mean, if it's, a couple $1,000, but if it's, a nominal amount, that, to me, it's worth investigating, just,
To find out more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, did they say they'd offer it to us for a year free?
I am unsure.
Well,
Yeah.
saying
I'll check
Valley at
into it.
approximately 11.5 would be complimentary.
Right,
And-
for that first year. And so why don't we investigate?
Try it out,
See
see
what
it.
what they can offer us, and then maybe they could give us even a sliding scale type charge, because our municipality is nowhere near like something like
Right.
Racine or Mount Pleasant. So maybe they could do something on a sliding scale.
Also, just because we're talking about technology, I don't know, like, if that has any impact. We've had a couple issues with computers. I mean, one, I think, was just the computer. But Kendall's having a really hard time with her Outlook right now, her email. And I don't know what it's going to, we're trying to change all of our email over to .gov rather than village.edu, or not edu, but, village.park. And I don't know if that has any basis of why you're having trouble with your Outlook.
There's like corrupted files on my computer, so I have to uninstall and reinstall every few weeks.
Do you think this is
And
your,
then when
do
I
you
try
think
to
this is your
log in-
crummy computer?
I have no idea.
So do we need to look at getting you a different computer? Can we talk about that later? Okay. Because it's taking like 2 hours of her time just to
Have
start
you
her.
had a professional look at it yet?
Not the Outlook problems. No, there's that place I got the new hard drive from that you guys had gone there personally. They offer a yearly plan for people where they'll take care of your backups and any computer problems that arise. I'm contemplating asking about that.
Okay.
I don't think
All right,
that's a
so-
bad idea.
It was like $125 a year, just to, like a contract with them. And then obviously if there's like problems, you need to buy new stuff, that's your cost. But for like $125, they like back up your computer and they answer your questions and stuff.
Okay. So would the board like us to look into the cybersecurity going forward for the next meeting or the next?
I mean, I think it's worth an investigation.
Okay, so put that on our
You could still say, and so, so is the Cyber Alliance provided by Racine County as like an income thing on their piece of it, or is it like a service?
It's something we have to look into.
Okay.
She did not get a ton of information, like they talked about it, but she was like, does this
Okay.
even apply to us because we're so small? So she'll look into it.
Okay.
That sound good? That's really the only item I have on the agenda. So I guess the next thing is I need someone to make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I'll second.
Okay, first by trustee Stein, second by trustee Studi, and we are meeting at 7:50.